Once upon a time. It is the holiday season, which means once again I am sick. You all should be used to this by now. Seriously, it's like clockwork. I have the immune system of a newborn. Someone coughs down the block and I get sick. Anyway, let's get to this episode. It is Season 7, Episode 9 of Once Upon a Time. Its title is One Little Tear or Tear. I don't know, it's the same word. Let's do it. Floating lanterns. The floating lanterns. One time we set those off and they got stuck in my sister's tree. It was hysterical. Rapunzel is not with Flynn Rider.
If your family is your be-all and end-all, what would you sacrifice to give them a better life?
That's a trick question, don't do it. It wouldn't seem in most enchanted worlds, making a deal is just horrible and never ends well, but people do it all the time. Evil Dead! See, I'm gonna say it whenever a tree comes to life. It's Evil Dead. To what end? Why did you want a blonde chick in a tower? Wait, what? What? You know, when you're in jail, they actually can monitor your conversations with your family. Just putting that out there. You're talking openly about magic.
Oh, did someone not get enough hugs?
You monster!
When it comes to my family, I always find a way.
This is like way unexpected.
How could I forget your skill set always comes with a price?
That's like the main thing about him. How could you forget that?
How is the search for the Guardian going?
Can we explain that, please?
You got yourself a deal.
Oh, shoot.
Rapunzel.
Ah, they just, like, in case you didn't pick up on it, she's also Rapunzel. Thanks for clarifying, but we did mention it twice already. That's a lot of days you're, like, hash marking. Someone freeze frame that and find out how long she was in there. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because, like, in Tangled, they couldn't cut her hair. Here, it's like, girl, just cut your hair. The floating lanterns! I'm just still bummed that Flynn Rider's not in this. You cut your hair!
Jacinda, there's a fugitive at the door for you.
What I am is a free woman. I'm here to quite literally do the opposite.
I don't want that kid.
I'm having her things sent over here, but she's rather fond of this little dolly.
This dolly I put a nanny cam in. Please put it where you guys speak a lot. Like the living room, up on a shelf.
I thought you were dead.
So did you get remarried? Oh yeah, there's another chick.
What's that, Father?
Go back inside, Ella.
Ella? She don't like you.
Why is it you people work all your little lives in locked rooms only to recreate nature's greatness?
It's air freshener.
Yeah, don't read too much into it.
It's your company we came for, not the tea mother. Right, Jizzy?
Actually, I am thirsty.
Drizzy, no one wants to hang with you.
The girls love you. Anastasia doesn't stop talking about you.
She's the good one.
Our family owes all its happiness to you.
But you don't get any.
Do you still love me?
Ooh, awkward. Seriously, that's the same mushroom from the Camelot storyline. Do they not have more prop mushrooms to use?
There's always my way.
There's always my way. What is Gothel's angle in all this? Like, what's driving this? Oh shoot, y'all gonna kiss? Oh, they kissed. Don't pull that fire alarm. That's illegal. Also, like, in a police station so they could dust that for prints, you know? A hook! Was that lamp in the background from the Sorcerer's Mansion? Why you even, like, digging through the files there? Just take the whole box and leave.
Rolling by you. Look at that.
Where did you get a custom paint job on that truck when you guys have no money?
Something out of a Tim Burton movie.
So an awesome knife. Yeah, the dagger. Duh.
I had a son who thought as little of me as Ivy does of you.
And they were both awful, but Ivy's cool. You're working as the help, Rapunzel. Oh, we breaking mirrors like Regina. Nothing says I'm a little bit upset like throwing something through a nice mirror.
Run ahead, Drusilla. Mother Gothel needs a moment.
I like when they just like constantly keep having to say their own name so the audience doesn't forget. Because who does that?
And you certainly know none.
Shade.
I tend to their needs as I can tend to yours.
She coming on to you?
I never thought I'd see a pout on the dark one.
Then you never saw Emma and Hook because all it did was pout. The book! The book!
Fairy tales are real.
What is happening?
But you don't know the whole story. Well, come now. I'll tell you the rest.
This feels like a setup, kid. Run.
You're Rapunzel? I thought you were Lady Tremaine, but
We can be both on this show.
I knew what I was right.
Yes, and it's that unfettered belief that makes you so special.
Let's squash it.
You poisoned my mom's mom?
Yeah, I'm kind of awful, turns out.
I I knew the poison would only cause Ella's mother to flee.
Did you know that for sure, really?
Unfortunately, the story didn't end there.
What? Tell us what Cinderella did. Maybe don't hang out on a frozen lake. Maybe if you hear that cracking on a lake, leave. So the ice cracked, I mean, that's not really like your fault she's dead. It's not like it was malicious. I don't get what the point is. I was hoping she did something shady. Like tell a secret Snow White shady.
That's Ella.
That's Ella. You shouldn't have gotten that one out of the water.
I couldn't.
Go back. You're still breathing. Go back in there.
Is that? Yes. Anastasia.
There she is. I knew it was a nanny cam. It's not creepy at all to show a daughter her mom macking on someone, though. No, totally, that's normal. Lucy should be like, why is there a camera with a live feed on your phone, Grandma?
Back with my phone, Belle.
And not Henry.
Twist the knife. You cry right on that book, kiddo. Good job. Now, how do you make the magic work? Do you just, like, chuck the book at her dead face?
When you accepted suffering to save your family, I thought you had the potential to be the guardian.
You were just kidnapping random chicks in hope that they could be some guardian? You're not casting a very wide net when you do that.
Looking for something.
And you're a good pickpocket, too? Never get how those magic powders work. Like, you can hold it in your hand and it doesn't affect you, but if you throw it at someone, it affects them.
One minute you're speaking to me in riddles, the next you're shutting me out.
Are you guys breaking up?
But I've been separated from my wife.
Ooh, telling him stuff. Much like her father, Lucy just wanders the streets alone. Oh shoot, she wake up! And Lucy fall down?
What happened?
You look old. Ivy, you got there a second too late. I actually really liked this one. Mostly because I did not see that coming at all. It's actually a very interesting twist that's not too hokey and really does make it much more interesting. Tremaine is Rapunzel. What? And how do I enjoy that? Rapunzel had a family that was suffering and made a deal with Gothel that her family would be okay, but it sent her up into a tower. But when she eventually does get down, she sees that her husband got remarried to this chick Cecilia, who is the mother of Cinderella. And she has the one daughter who really likes her, and then she has Drizella, who's just a jerk. Meanwhile, in the current times, Belfry gets out of prison, and she makes a deal with Rumple, who finally admits he is Rumple, and they're gonna go wake her daughter up. And in exchange, she's gonna have information about this guardian, which we still don't know a whole lot about, but Rumple wants to, so he can die eventually. And when Belfry gets free, the first thing she does is goes to Jacinda and is like, hey, you could totally have Lucy, just give her this doll. But it's also not a nanny cam. If you see any lenses or blinking lights, just ignore it. Just put it on a shelf with a good view of the living room. Which is great because she places it perfectly to catch video of her and Lucy's dad kissing. Then in flashback time, Gothel goes to tempt Rapunzel and like, hey, you could just poison Ella's mom and you could have the whole family. Rapunzel's like, I ain't gonna do that to an innocent chick, but eventually she's gonna get worn down. And eventually she totally does get worn down because she realizes that Drizella likes Cecilia more and she just can't have that. And in current time, Hook breaks into the evidence locker, finds his actual hook, and he finds a bunch of files on everyone in town, so he goes to Sabine to ask her what's going on. She says that Weaver talked to her before and said that a knife was used to Jimmy, that weird chicken place that caught on fire. She draws a picture of the knife and says that Rumple had given it to her and wanted her to hold it to see if she felt anything. And of course, it's a drawing of the dagger she draws for him. Then in modern times, Rumple is still helping Belfry try to do all the things that she needs to do to wake her daughter. Ivy and Gothel are following them, but Belfry ain't too concerned. Rumple isn't really asking any questions beyond helping her to get what he needs, and then Gothel later is like, hey, maybe you should ask what the cost of all this is gonna be. Like, maybe where's, Lucy? And at that time, Belfry's gone to Lucy and has completely told her that all fairy tales are real, even showed her Henry's book. And in learning all that, you realize that the reason Anastasia died is because she fell through the ice trying to save Ella, who, I don't know, why would you even make a snowman on the ice when there is, tons of level ground around you with snow? Whatever, seems foolish. But then she takes Lucy to go see her daughter in the hospital. The whole time, Belfry's kind of painting it like I did nothing different than any heroes would do and see how everything fell apart for me. There isn't really happy endings, and Lucy still doesn't want to let go of her belief in happy endings. But Belfry shows her the creepy nanny cam footage of her mom kissing her dad, and then Lucy finally lets go of the hope that things will work out, and she cries on the book. Then we go back to flashback, and after they pulled Anastasia out of the water, Rapunzel takes her to Gothel and is like, do something, she's only mostly dead right now. So she does some magic and locks in her last breath, so she's kind of between life and death. And then we learn why Gothel did this in the first place. Gothel somehow wants to get a hold of the Guardian, or I don't even know if... It's like, is she trying to find some Guardian by just testing it on one chick at a time? Anyway, basically, the whole thing was a test. She wanted to see if she could find someone who would be completely opposed to harming an innocent person who was truly, like, virtuous and good. Clearly, that's not Rapunzel, because she done poisoned Cecilia. So Gothel's like, okay, well, I'll just take your mostly dead daughter, because maybe, you know, maybe your daughter's the good one. I don't know. Rapunzel's like, no, you're not taking my kid, and I stole your magic put you in a tower thing. She throws it down on the ground. Gothel goes into the tower. But she also mentioned, too, that, to make it where no one can escape, she put blood magic in, which explains why she needed to replace herself with her own kid to get out. Then we see in modern times, Rogers is talking to Weaver, and that he's just really wanting to know what is going on, like, what's the secret Weaver's doing. He's not completely honest, but he says that he's separated from his wife and wants to find her and get to her, and everything he's doing is working towards that goal. So Rogers is like, well, let me help you. So they're like, the first thing we need to do is find Lucy. But at the same time, we see that Belfry's taken an eyedropper and sucked the tear off the book and kissed her daughter and dropped it on her daughter's forehead, and her daughter wakes up. At the same time, Lucy gets home to Jacinda and then just passes out. Jacinda's all freaking out because her kid's knocked out, and Ivy sees that her mom's all happy because her sister is woken up, and then credits. This episode has a lot of moving parts, so it feels convoluted, but it also feels like old-timey Once Upon a Time convoluted when it was good. So I liked it. And also, I totally forgot. It's been driving me nuts because the chick who plays Gothel, I'm like, where have I seen this actress? And I realized she's from Glitch. So I like her. It's really odd for me because usually when there's actors on this show, I have no clue what their previous work is. If you guys haven't seen Glitch, check that show out too. It's amazing. This episode was odd though because we didn't get to see Ronnie or Henry. So what are they up to? I guess that's the next episode. Which I kind of got a little bit spoiled too from the Once Upon a Time convention just because I have some knowledge of who is coming back. But anyway, I actually really liked that episode. Also, something that's kind of totally unrelated to Once Upon a Time, but I just am passionate about as a nerdy fan. If any of you guys watch the show Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, or have heard of it, or if you've never heard of it, watch it. But if you guys know about it, they just did their second season, and then BBC really unexpectedly announced that they canceled it, and I am in a freaking state over it, because that show is amazing, and I want to know what happens next. So there is a petition going online to save the show, because BBC may have dropped it, but Netflix can pick it up. So go out there and sign that. I swear to God, I'm so passionate, I'm putting that into the descriptions. Click that link and do it. Also, it's being released worldwide on Netflix on January 5th, so check out that show and binge the heck out of it because its ratings are really going to depend on if we get a season 3. Okay, nerd rant aside, sorry, but seriously do that. What do you guys think about this episode? If you liked it, drop a comment. If you want to talk about it, drop a comment. If I forgot anything, drop a comment. And don't forget to do the things. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will catch you guys later. Until next time.